The frustration that Jimmy displayed. Cornpop. I'm not going to read the rest of it. Without me, that's
Behold, pale horse. I'd pay $5 to see Jimmy Dore body slam a disagreeable guest. Just saying. LOL.
What the fuck?
Wouldn't they want
Fox News?
Wouldn't they want to bring me on so they could pillory me over Israel,
No.
Gaza?
No.
Call me a Hamas
no.
supporter and shit like that?
He's not going to do that. It's still platforming. Listen, Israel's in a fight for its life, Jimmy. You saw Michael Rappaport.
I had somebody. I did. I had somebody. I was doing Primo Radical show, and he asked me, Jimmy, would you have someone on? Would you? Is there anybody you wouldn't interview? Like, I guess Jake Shields interviewed that Nick Fuentes guy.
Oh, never interview him.
And he,
Never.
but wait, and he said somehow my name came up, and so Primo says, "Would you be willing to interview someone like Nick Fuentes?" And I said, "Well, first of all, I'm not making it up. I know almost nothing about Nick Fuentes, but number two, I would gladly interview someone like Kamala Harris or Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or Benjamin Netanyahu. I would love to interview Benjamin. And that guy's literally slaughtering children and babies right now. So if I'd be willing to platform Benjamin Netanyahu, and everybody in the country would, there's nobody that's off limits. No, I would put anybody on my show. If you're willing to interview Benjamin Netanyahu, which is the Hitler of our time, there's nothing off. There's not. Why would anybody? Why would anybody be?
I'll tell you why. Because we had Max Blumenthal on here, who was readily describing what glowy ass Nick was doing. Who was that candidate that was running there? Nick purposely went and stood by him to get his picture taken to screw up the guy's candidacy. Remember that?
Yeah, but I could bring that up. You know what I mean? I'm just saying if I didn't. I'm just saying no one's off. There might be a reason why I personally might not want
someone
to.
Someone like him, certainly. A gay guy, absolutely, but not him. Someone like him, for sure, but not him.
But yeah, I'm just saying there might be there's lots of reasons why I don't bring certain people on, and it's not because I'm afraid to platform them. It's because
Why would you be afraid? First of all, if you, I love the reverse. Like, your show's bigger than any of. So here's the real bottom line: we live in America, so here's how it works. Of course, Netanyahu, that's a lot of clout at the end of the day. So it doesn't take anything away from you to platform Netanyahu. But these kind of people that, like, their whole thing is to get next to someone bigger than them and draw blood from them like a mosquito, no, don't have them on. It's ironic that Fuentes talks so much shit on Jews because he is kind of a bloodsucker.
Well, he
talks all this shit, and he's like a guy whose job it is to suck the life out of shit. I'm sure he's paid for by somebody. He don't like what he does.
I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know what he does. I don't have time to look into it.
If anybody wants to scoop, Kino Casino has tons of great stuff about it. Even more in depth than Max Blumenthal, who's the first guy to tell me that Nick was urging people into the Capitol on January 6th with a megaphone. And I later saw the footage of it. I heard it described by Max. Anya Parampel said she saw it. Kino Casino showed the video of it. And yeah, screw that glowy. Having him on is like having a purposeful agent on who wants to, like, has no good intentions. It's not to hear their ideas. They're an agitator that's on purpose.
Well, who was that guy, Ray Epps, right? I would have Ray Epps on. Wouldn't you like to interview Ray Epps?
Yes,
I would.
I would. But to my knowledge, Ray Epps was not covering up for pedophiles in his organization.
Okay.
I mean, could you be any more Catholic? Holy shit, man.
So, but I do have one hard and fast rule that I've been able to stick to so far, is that I don't, how, like, I've had people who make incendiary false statements about me in hopes that I'll bring them on the show to.
Yeah, right.
And I'm like, it doesn't work. So when you make incendiary false, and I made this rule, this started in like 2016, 2017. I realized this. There was someone who was talking shit about me, and I was telling this to a friend of mine. And I said, did you see what Joe Smith said? All this Joe Smith. And I went on to like this 5-minute thing and how fucking bullshit it was and how I was. And I said to my friend, I go, what do you think of that? My friend goes, who's Joe Smith? And I was like, oh.
That's right. And that's a normal thing that would happen with
Oh.
a normal person. However, when somebody is an agent provocateur,
Yeah.
they're not going to say false. They're going to say things you agree with. His group is called America First. He's going to say things that sound reasonable. And because he's a piece of shit, your MSNBCs and your Maddows are going to go, see, you're on the same team. That's what the guy's purpose is. Not to say lies, to say things that are true and then smear the truth by being associated with it. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand that. I understand what you're saying.
Car. Here we go. Hey, Jimmy, your rant against Trump supporters echoes what Nick Fuentes said. After a recent debate, Fuentes mentioned your name as one he'd have a debate or discussion with. Would you be open to it? All right, here's the first thing. What's the point of debates in this culture?
Well, what a great thing to say. That's exactly what I feel.
Right?
I hate debates. Roast battle, I don't want one. If you can convince me, I want to be convinced. If I'm wrong, I'm going to listen to you. I don't have an emotional attachment to anything except what the goddamn reality is. I don't have a swelling feeling in my heart about politics. So I just want to not be bullshitted. And a debate is to make one. It's like it's like as moronic as every other sporting event.
Yeah, I can't stand, the debate, any of the debates that we've seen in the last 10 years. When have you ever watched a debate and go, oh, good point. I totally changed my mind. I've never met anybody that says that.
Biden-Trump debate, the greatest debate of my lifetime, the one with Biden and Trump, that's where it was so flagrantly obvious that Biden, his brain is gone, which we've all known for the whole time, that even people that want to not see it had to see it, and there's no getting out of it. So the people that Jimmy didn't want to go to dinner with that would have to pretend Biden's good and like, no, his oldness is a superpower. Whatever Bill Maher said, those people had to acknowledge that Biden's brain is gone. And so I guess that was useful in a way, but otherwise, no.
It's so hard. Like I had a conversation with a friend. She wore a Kamala hat to lunch. And I'm just sitting there I'm like, oh, why? And she goes, I bought it first time she ran for office. I'm like, and I love this woman. I think this woman is terrific. But, I remember like I'm saying, well, at least think right now, who's running the country? Who's running the country? And she goes, yeah, I know. I who do you think is running the country? I don't know, the military-industrial complex? I don't know, but it's certainly CIA. It's not Biden, and it's not Kamala. So,
but there is no deep state. But there's no deep state. We don't know who runs the actual country. But don't worry, there's no deep state.
Yeah, nothing to see here. All right. So would Jimmy be open to having a debate? No. Jimmy's open to having discussions, right? With honest
why is this
people.
guy pushing this? Why is he pushing Nick Fuentes? I wonder why Nick Fuentes covered up that pedo in his organization who solicited underage naked pictures of boys, and Nick knew about it, and he then blamed the boys. I want to know why he did that, and because it's like talking to Vosh. It's as worthless as talking to a guy who likes horse porn. So why do you keep bringing that prick's name up is my question.
Ooh.
Somebody wanted to know if you wanted to have a discussion or debate Nick Fuentes. And I was saying that I don't think you need a debate. I don't think they move the needle on anything. And Kurt was pointing out that before that, go ahead and tell Fuentes that. What did he do?
He covered a pedo in his group and then blamed the victim. These are, by the way, skinny incel boys, the kind Nick likes, some of whom actually believed in this idiot. And they got really taken advantage of, and he covered it up and then blamed them. He's a scumbag, okay? Now, the guy that wrote that, I don't know why you like him, but here's my advice. Either come out of the closet or start having sex with girls, and don't do this weird Richard Spencer thing, okay? Don't be a cat boy. Be a man, and either fuck dudes or women, and stop being a retard. That's all I can say.
And
Okay,
nothing wrong with being cat boy. Back to Jimmy.
I have to